Welcome, everybody. My name is Kate Leonard with Walsh-Fluor, the design build team for the CTA RPM project. We're going to do a brief presentation in what's called the main room today, and then we're going to split into breakout rooms so you can have a little bit more divided attention with some of our hiring decision makers. Right now, Kweku is going to do a brief announcement of who's all here and what we're going to cover today. So thanks so much for joining. We appreciate your time. Go ahead, Kweku. And Kweku, you're on mute right now.
Can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. And Kate, thank you for that introduction. So my name is Kweku Thompson, and I'm the Diversity and Inclusion Manager for the Walsh-Fluor Design Build team. And on behalf of Walsh-Fluor, CTA, CTA's Workforce Partners, Hire 360, and Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, and Trinal, who is Walsh-Fluor's workforce consultant. We want to thank everyone for joining today's event. I know that today's event is coined as a hiring event, but really what this event is dedicated to is
Sorry, Kweku, someone muted you.
Muted you. Wait, Kweku, you're still on mute.
You have to hit *6 on you. There you go.
all right. Can everyone hear me again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of funny, you know. At the same time, it's easier to connect with so many of you right now on Zoom, but at the same time, we still struggle with technical issues. So thanks for bearing with us. But as I mentioned again, yes, this is a hiring event, but the true essence of this event is to make sure that you all learn about this historical project that CTA has awarded to Walsh-Fluor, but really it's about employment. And it's about employment opportunities, not only in the near term, but over the next 4 years. So today, what we're gonna do is provide you a high level view of what we've done to date in terms of design and some of the preliminary construction to get the ball rolling on this historical project. But we're gonna have the majority of today's discussion focus around the applicable trades who are building this project, and then to really learn from some of our staff, including construction manager Don Henry and superintendent Walt Cunningham, about what we're doing out there, what are some of the skills that we value in potential workers for the long haul. So we're going to start this presentation with Don giving that overview of the project to date. And then Kate will discuss the workforce, and then we will have breakout rooms. And just to remind everyone, for the breakout room sessions, we will not record that segment of this session. We want that to be intimate and comfortable for you to ask questions that you want. So we will just focus on taping this part just so you can review it later on. With that said, with housekeeping for those breakout room sessions, it's going to be similar to what we're doing right now. We will have a brief overview and presentation from the MC for each of these rooms. Those MCs will likely either be Walsh-Fluor or CTA, but I would recommend that people continue to mute themselves and reserve their questions until we are done with our mini presentations in those breakout rooms. And afterwards, we will make sure to if we don't answer your questions during those breakout room sessions, we will have a follow-up message and a survey sent out about a week later, making sure that we capture any and all inquiries you may have about employment opportunities.
All right, thanks, Kweku. Don, we are going to move on to the portion of the presentation where you give a brief overview of what's going on at RPM in general. So if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your role, and then we'll get right to it.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Don Henry. I am construction manager for Walsh-Fluor on this project for basically the RPB area, which is the flyover portion of the job. There's another section down the way that's the LBMM. There's another construction manager on that one, and then there's one other construction manager that oversees the both of us. So to give you a quick rundown of the project overview, it is a design build, and for everybody's knowledge, that means that we do have a design function, which is Stantec, and we are responsible for the design and for the construction of the project. So it's not a bid build. We have everything. We've been doing design for about 1.5 years now, trying to get ready for construction. Our Walsh partner is Fluor, and our lead designer is Stantec, and they have a couple subs under them that they also use. As Kwaku said, this is the largest capital improvement project in CTA history. As I said, it's a design, build, procurement, and there's basically 4 project areas. Right now, most of the work is being done in the pre-stage, and that's down in the LBMM area, where there's 4 tracks down there, and they're getting ready to be able to just put it into 2-track operation, which means those 4 will go down to 2 for quite some time, and then they will build everything they can in that 2 section, and then they'll switch traffic. They'll put the trains on the 2, and then they'll go back and build on the other half. So it's basically 2 stages for them. And Walt, you can jump in here if I'm not saying it correctly, because you have a lot more knowledge of the LBMM area. So the red purple bypass, the one I am on, we're basically building a flyover, one of the tracks to go over the existing 4 tracks out there. What that'll do is get rid of some of the congestion going from the very east side of the track. It's got to cross 3 tracks to get over to the west side and continue. So there's a lot of congestion in that area. What we'll do is we will build a bridge that'll basically go over all 4 of those tracks. So that'll eliminate all that congestion moving forward. The LBMM area, Lawrence Bryn Mawr modernization. And then there's a bunch of signal improvements, obviously, too. In that area, they're going to replace all the track, all the structures that are in there, replace them to new. You see on the screen that right now they have a temp station built at Bryn Mawr. They do have some signal houses going in, and basically those things just have all the circuitry and everything for the circuits, and some communications are also in there. You'll see at the bottom too is where they're doing the pre-construction of the track work, throwing in some special track work to be able to move trains from track to track. And you can see that barrier in the middle on the right. That's basically so they can work without CTA flaggers on the one side, and they will work on one side of that, and then when they're done, they will flip and go to the others. 4 new stations going in the LBMM area. RPB does not have any new stations. And that, for the most part, and then in the RPB area, right now, like I said, there's 4 tracks there. Those are all going to be removed. Those are all going to be taken down, and we're going to put up new tracks, new substructure for most of it, and new signaling. And it's basically about a 4-year project because of the phasing we have to do. We have to get into 2-track also. And we will be doing that towards the middle, the end of this year. And then we'll start tearing down half the tracks there and the structure, and then we'll start building that, and then we'll flip it when we're done. And basically that's going to take us about 3.5 to 4 years to complete.
Thanks, Don.
You're welcome.
Quite the overview. As you guys can tell, this is a very large project that's spanning a lot of duration of time, and not only duration of time, but also a lot of trade hours that are going to need to be put in there. Not only is Walsh-Fluor the prime contractor on it, but we're going to have several dozens, maybe even hundreds of contractors that are going to touch this project. So we wanted to give you just kind of the idea of the vastness of how many hours are going to be dedicated to this project. As you can see, we're starting in 2019 and we're going projected all the way through 2024, meaning that people are consistently working, whether that be in huge crew sizes or small crew sizes, depending on weather and depending on the work that's planned. But there is a lot of opportunity on this project. About 2 million man hours has been estimated to be projected for this project. So there's a lot of opportunity for people who are not yet hired for any of those contractors, whether it be us as the prime or any of our subs, there's a lot of opportunity to get onto the project. And we just want to remind you that speaking with us and getting in touch with our team would be your best bet in order to get connected to our contractors on this project. So as it is so vast and large and complicated, what we're trying to do is set up a process so that we can have clear lines of communication for those interested to get connected with our contractors. And so we've employed the help with CTA of two workforce agencies, Hire 360 and Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, and you're going to hear from both of them in just a minute or two. But there are also some project goals that have been put into place. WIOA is the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, which helps individuals who are under or unemployed become employed with contractors or any industry actually. And then there's 15% of our total trade hours want to go to apprentices to help build our trade labor and make sure that we're building into the future of the unions. As well as 35% of our total hours are going to go to people who are from specific zip codes that have been identified nationally as zip codes that have lower income. We want to make sure that we're investing back into our city as a whole in encouraging economic growth throughout the city, not just the project footprint. So the way that you can best get connected with the project is, one, you can visit our project website. What I'm going to do is put it up here. Can everybody see that? I just dropped a different screen in there. Did it change?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, great. So this is our project website. It's Walsh-Fluor-RPM.com. Currently, I'm on the career opportunities page, but if you just scroll down here, we have helpful links for everything that you're going to need to be best connected. One, there's a link to our workforce partner, Hire 360. There's also a link to the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership. There's also a link for some informational documentation down here. And then there's also a way to directly apply with Walsh-Fluor, a link there as well. On this page, there's a lot of information, including what the zip codes are, what we're looking for, what our goals are on the project. So I really encourage you, if one of my co-hosts could drop the Walsh-Fluor RPM address into the chat, that would be fantastic. We really encourage you to go and take a look and utilize all the links that are there. The best way that you can do is go to that website and complete the intake forms for both the workforce agencies, that's Hire 360 and Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership. Through their assistance and the process that we've developed as the prime contractor, we're going to be continually reaching out to them to source candidates for this project. So whenever one of our subcontractors comes to us asking for assistance or needing to place somebody on their project, we go to the workforce partners. So that's our direct source of candidates. And so your best bet as a card-holding union member is to go to these workforce agencies and get connected with them, because then they'll be able to refer you back to us. Also, additionally, they offer great services in general, so they'll be able to connect you with other opportunities, other contractors, other projects. Chicago is booming. There's a lot of work going on, and so not just at RPM, though we'd love to have you at RPM, but other projects that are happening as well. We just want to make sure that everyone is connected as possible. This is also one of the documents that are on our website. This is information really for people who are not yet card holders. We're going to have a different event in April. It's a little bit more focused on informing individuals who are not part of the industry yet of what you need and how you can get connected and who you need to talk to in order to become part of the unions. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, because really we want to focus on getting the union card holders some information with our contractors today. So I'd like to introduce our workforce partners and just to kind of briefly go over the structure here. So CTA is the owner of the project. They own the CTA RPM project, and they've contracted with Walsh-Fluor to be their design build contractor. And Walsh-Fluor has contracted with Trinal Inc., and they are our assistants to help get our workforce kind of up and rolling. And through contracts with CTA, Hire 360, and Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership are our referral agencies. So all of us work together as one excellent team, and we do our best to make sure that opportunities are well known in the market, and that you as the trade individuals are ready and prepared for those opportunities when they come up. And so I want to let Hire 360 and Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership talk a little bit about some of their services that they do, so that when you guys do go to our website and fill out their intake forms, because everyone's going to do that, that you'll know exactly what you're getting from them. So Ashley, if you would like to talk a little bit about Hire 360.
Great. Thanks so much, Kate. And thank you to Walsh-Fluor, CTA, for hosting this conversation. As Kate mentioned, I'll be quickly reviewing who we are as Hire 360, as the workforce, one of the workforce partners, and how we can support you as job seekers in the trades. I know a lot of you on the call today are already involved in Hire 360 or the partnership programming, so it's nice to see some familiar faces. So high-level overview, Hire 360 represents the first time that developers, general contractors, unions have all been at the same table to address issues of inequality and sustainability in this industry. Our work really focuses on 4 main pillars, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to focus on the one, workforce development, which is really our focus for today. So next slide, please. Our apprenticeship programming is built to reflect the priorities of employers. So there's a few different elements going on. The test prep is an important component, but most of you are already card holders on this call, so you've already been through this test process. If there are questions, I'm happy to help answer those, and you can bring them to the breakout sessions as well. But the part that will be helpful to you as cardholders is building off the resources you already have. Our staff supports financial literacy training, resume review, interview practice, and the Barrier Reduction Fund is another element I want to briefly touch on. We affectionately call it our BRF. This financial support can assist candidates at any level, including assistance in covering union back dues. So that's a great resource. And then Kate briefly mentioned the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. You may hear WIOA referenced. It's another form of support that you could take advantage of if you're not familiar with it. But Hire 360 can help you gain access to these grants for different certifications, from HVAC to welding certifications, commercial driver's licenses. And that grant can help you build the skill set within your skilled trade. Thank you. Some of you may be familiar with the names on this slide. We work closely with these great agencies in the community: SARE, Chicago Women in Trades, Hispanic American Construction Industry Association, as experts in the industry, just to expand our network towards this project with the CTA. And the last point that I'll make is to reference our work with the subcontractors, because I think that's why we're all here, such as those on the call today that you'll meet in breakout rooms. Through the partnerships, and actually, I think if you want to go to this last slide, thank you so much. Through partnerships like we have with the city across the region and this work with the CTA, we're looking to connect folks with opportunities on the job sites. So key takeaway here, if you haven't already, you don't already have somebody you're working with at Hire 360 or the partnership, be sure to fill out the assessment form. It's here, we'll drop it in the chat as well. It's the same link that you would find going to the website that Kate shared. And be sure to fill out that assessment form. That's going to help us understand how best we can serve you. And I know that the partnership will share theirs as well. So with that, it was super quick, but I'm going to turn it over to our colleague in Workforce Development, Corey, over at the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership.
Thanks, Ashley. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. We're really excited to be part of this project and get you guys connected to some of those 2 million hours of work that'll be done over the next 4 years. My name is Corey Muldoon. I'm the Chief of Staff for the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership, and we're the largest public workforce system in the nation. We work on behalf of the City of Chicago and Cook County as a network of 90 community-based organizations, 600 staff, and thousands of businesses and job seekers to connect people to the work that they're looking for, to family-sustaining careers. I think the thing that I want to share about this slide is our commitment to racial and gender equity. We have a special focus on this with the skilled trades, and we're very interested in connecting people that have been historically underrepresented in the skilled trades to careers in the construction industry. Over the past 2 years, we've had 300 people gain jobs in union jobs in our system, through our system in construction. And we're really happy to be part of this project to continue doing that work. So what is it? Why would someone on this call who's already in a union connect with us? First off, as you've heard and as you'll continue to hear, the best way to get connected to the opportunities on this project are signing up with us, coming through us, because Walsh-Fluor is coming to Hire 360 and ourselves to fill the job orders that come through the project. The other things that I want to highlight here are the services that we bring to help people like yourselves be successful in their careers and connect to these opportunities. The big one is the Barrier Reduction Fund, similar to what Ashley shared. If you guys need help getting your car fixed so you can get to the job on time, getting your back dues paid, paying any sort of fees, we're there for you on that. We also have career coaches. They can help you think about your career. Say you want to switch to a different trade, we're here to help you navigate that whole process. And there's a list of our services you can see there. Feel free to go to the next slide. So a couple people I want to lift up today. They're in the room now. Nicole Morrison from KRA. They run the West Side American Job Center and our newly opened Chatham Education and Workforce Center. Nicole Morrison has been great in getting people connected to careers in construction, as has Laura Rodriguez at the Northside American Job Center, which is run by Equus. So they're here. Each of them will be in a breakout room. Please, feel free to reach out to them. But again, the way to get connected to us is by clicking on the link here, tinyurl.com/CTA@CCWP. That's our connection form, and we'll get you in path to get these jobs. Thanks.
Great. Thanks so much, Corey. All right, so now you are going to be divided up into breakout rooms. This is based on the trade that you said that you were affiliated with and different opportunities from each of these subcontractors. So if you're not familiar with Zoom, you'll get an invitation that pops up along the taskbar that says so-and-so has asked you to join this room. Go ahead and click that link, and then we'll all be diverted into our smaller groups so that we can have subcontractor introductions and meaningful conversation. So the Wizard of Oz, please disperse us into our rooms.
Kate, while we're waiting for that, there is one quick question from Robert. What is the ratio of journeymen to apprentices for their respective trades?
That's all dependent on which trade that you're in and the work that you're doing. So there are a couple trades that are a little bit more flexible with the type of work that's being done, the activities. I know with carpenters, I think it's 1 to 4. Iron workers, it's 1 to 4. Laborers, it's 1 to 6, but that's also dependent on the work that you're doing. So it really is all kind of a discussion, and especially with the contractor, it's really important that you talk to whoever you're employed with so that they can do the appropriate conversations with the unions that they're signatory to make sure that everything's all okay. But it is pretty dependent. If you had one specifically, if you are interested in a specific union, then we could give you a little bit more information on that. But generally speaking, it's between 1 to 4 and 6.